to the very best of Notting Hill Carnival here at Europe's largest street festival. It is a symbol of London's magnificent multicultural past and present. Well, there's going to be a live parade, music, floats, and all the food that you can eat. We'll bring you all of that over the next hour here from the 53rd Notting Hill Carnival. Carnival that have been participating in the carnival since 1980 is the Elimu Mass Band, and I'm so happy to have Ansel Wong here with me to tell me more about it. So Ansel, what does Elimu mean?
Welcome first to Elimu Carnival Band and our mass camp. The word Elimu is Swahili for knowledge or education, and we started off as a community education center working with young people who were truanting from school in West London.
And why is it so important to you that young people are involved in the band?
I think what's important is the opportunities this band offers to many young people in terms of their creative potential, the opportunity to understand the history and heritage of where they came from in the Caribbean, and an opportunity to participate and actually acquire craft and artistic skills in carnival arts.
And tell me, just how much work goes into all of this? The costumes, the music, everything.
There's a continuous engagement in what we call here the mass camp. This is the production, the engine room for the preparation, the planning, and the execution of our costume, our music, or our choreography and everything. So we start at least 3-4 months in terms of actual planning. But we have already started for 2020 in terms of deciding what sort of theme, what sort of creativity we shall do.
And Ansel, you've been involved with Notting Hill Carnival for a long time. You're a Carnival trustee. Tell us, what makes Carnival so special?
We think Carnival is one of the iconic festivals in the British calendar. It has developed from what it was over 50 odd years ago into what it is now, really a showcase of the diversity of London. In fact, the diversity of the United Kingdom, because it embraces every art form, it embraces every community. So for me, Carnival, Notting Hill Carnival, has really become quintessentially British.
How have you seen Carnival develop and change over the last 50 years?
Over the last 50 years, we've seen a number of changes. One, in terms of the young people that are coming onto the scene, the opportunity for the traditional elements, because in a sense, the Notting Hill Carnival is a refashioning and a recreation of the Trinidad and Tobago Carnival. But as our young people come and participate, they are changing it. They're molding it in terms of their own desires, their own creativity. So over the 50 years, there has been very both subtle and dramatic changes in production, in representation, in performance.
And Ansel, one of the most iconic things that you did is set up Black History Month. What was that like for you to see that spread across the UK?
The establishment of October as Black History Month started us, obviously, with us involving in getting all the local authorities to agree. And to be quite honest with you, I never anticipated it becoming so popular, so widespread. So for us, it's an opportunity, in a sense, to reinterpret what we have started with Carnival, to say, look back at our history, look back at our heritage, so we can chart the future together.
Just how excited are you for your band to be performing later?
I can't contain my excitement because we think we have some very innovative ideas, because we have something called Mokojambis. These are the people who walk on stilts, 10, 15 feet high. And the most iconic is the Carnival Queen of Trinidad and Tobago 2019 is represented here, came all the way from Trinidad, Port of Spain to join us on Notting Hill Carnival. So we are proud and excited to present her.
As you can probably hear, there are so many different sounds that make up the music of Notting Hill Carnival. Well, one of the most famous sounds is that of the steel pan. It's an instrument originating from Trinidad and Tobago. Well, we spoke to one of the most prominent bands, which is the Mangrove Steel Band.
For me, my love of steel pan began as soon as I started playing it. My tutor at the time, Zach Herbert, said play this, and I played it. I've always been quite musical, so I played other instruments, guitar, recorder, tried keyboards, but I couldn't get it to work. But yeah, with Pam, when you play it, you can play it. As long as you hit the right place at the right time, you're making music. So I find it very easy, and essentially, I think I'm quite a lazy person. So I wanted to do something that I just found easy to do. And also, I think because you do things as a group, you develop relationships and friendships with people that kind of go beyond the activity that you're doing. And so it's just kept me here all this time. Steel pan was invented in Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean, and it's the only instrument that was invented in the 20th century. It's a percussive instrument, so you literally play it by hitting it. And a steel pan is like a family of instruments. So you've got the tenors, which are the high pitch, and it goes through the different sections. You've got tenor, double seconds, and so on, through to the bass. And essentially, there's some steel pans in the background. So essentially, the shorter the skirt, the outside of the drum, is the higher the note. The longer the skirt, is the deeper the note. And yeah, as I said, it's a family of instruments. My earliest memory of Carnival, I was probably about maybe 8 or something. Yeah, maybe about 8 or 9, and I went to Carnival with my dad. And we were on Portobello Road under the Westway, where Portobello Green is now, and he was talking to some friends. And I just remember the place being crowded, but what stuck with me from that time was that was actually the first time I heard steel pan. And I wanted to go and see what it was, but my dad wouldn't let me. And it was much, much later before I actually knew what it was. But that was like years ago now, and I didn't go for a long time, probably, I don't know, maybe about 15 years or so. I didn't go to Carnival at all because it wasn't something that really interested me. And even with playing a steel pan, it wasn't something that the band I was playing with when I first started to play, it wasn't something that they did. But then when I joined Ebony and then subsequently Mangrove, it's very much part of what I do. I couldn't imagine my winters not being in Trinidad or my summers not being in Notting Hill. So this year, Mangrove will be somewhere between sort of 115 and 125 players. Players this year have come to us from, let me see if I can remember everywhere. We've got people from France, people from Holland, people from New York, Houston, Texas, and some other places, Trinidad, yeah, and some other places, I'm sure. And if I've forgotten you, I'm really sorry. But they're people who've played with us all the time. So it's between 150 and 125 players. On the day, we will all meet on All Saints Road. So at the moment, we're based in the Tabernacle, which is in Palace Square. But the Thursday and Friday before Panorama and Carnival, we practice on All Saints Road, which is literally a minute's walk from here. And that's where Mangrove Steel Band was formed, on All Saints Road, and that's where we drew our name from the Mangrove restaurant.
Well, as you can see, it is very busy here. It's super crowded, and this is the second year that Carnival has been arranged by a new board of directors. Well, these directors joined the police before Carnival kicked off to give us an update on this year's safety measures so that we can all party in style and safely.
As soon as Carnival finishes for 1 year, we start planning for the next year. We have a very comprehensive policing operation in place this year. We've worked very closely with the organisers, Notting Hill Carnival Limited. People can expect to see, as last year, screening archers and also a range of different police officers and tactics.
We had a debrief with the bands after last Carnival, and the 32 bands that had liaison officers fed back that it was overwhelmingly a much needed support that they needed in getting around. As a result of that, the remaining bands felt left out and requested that they have it as well. So we put in a request to the Metropolitan Police, can we have this for all of the bands? And this year, I think it's the first time ever, they will all have a liaison with them to aid them in getting around the route, and it will help us in the whole event, you know, to work together. And because really Carnival is about a celebration of culture and unity, and the costumes, and this link and support from the Metropolitan Police in getting that parade around safely and smoothly is most welcomed.
We have 2 police liaison officers for every float, don't we? And as Matthew said, they're really invaluable, and they really help with that communications between the bands and police officers. They just make everything smoother. They make it more about the carnival, don't they?
Definitely, and they don't just rock up on the day. They contact the bands before, so they start to develop a relationship. So they contact the bands and ask them what their needs are, what issues they've had, and how they can assist with it.
This year, roughly, over the weekend, we have around 12,000 officers. We have a very comprehensive policing plan in place. We're using screening archers as last year, and we're also increasing the number of police liaison teams. So people coming to Carnival can expect to see a variety of different police officers with some specialist skills. Carnival is a fantastic event that attracts a lot of visitors. We're expecting about 1 million people over the weekend. Our policing aim, which we will fulfil, is to keep Carnival safe for everybody. We understand that people will be concerned about violence, but there's no information or intelligence to suggest there's any violence that's connected to Carnival. The vast majority of people coming to Carnival are very law-abiding and come for the inclusive and fantastic atmosphere on the weekend. And for those small amount of people who might be thinking about causing trouble, we ask them to think about the heritage of this event and respect for this community who's worked so hard this weekend.
Well, stay with us because still to come, we'll be showing you how some of these amazing costumes are made. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back to the very best of Notting Hill Carnival 2019 here in West London. And we're here in the very midst of the parade with these amazing dancers and their amazing costumes. And there's so much more of that coming up. We're here with two of the dancers from the Mangrove Mass Band, and you can see their amazing float behind us. Tell me, how did Mangrove come together this year?
Amazingly, actually. We've worked so hard for about the past 8 months, making sure that girls got their costumes, the panorama guys were doing really well. So it's been a tough year, but we've done it. Mangrove always does it well.
And Caroline, tell me, how much preparation does it take for Mangrove to look so fabulous?
A whole year's worth of preparation and ideas. The girls worked really hard this year on both sections, children's. We have a whole children's band on Sunday and an adults band on Monday. So everyone smashed it this year. I'm very proud of my band. And we won Panorama as well.
There's about, between the kids and the adults, there's about 200 people that we have to make masks for. And it's all volunteers that have grown up in the band and been around the area. So it's nice, like Caroline's a veteran of making mask stuff. And she taught me, and now I reteach everyone else, so.
And describe to me what the feeling is when you dance at Notting Hill Carnival.
The theme's based on the regeneration of the coral reef, because we like to have it something that's relevant. So with what came up, what was happening was that we were aware that the reef, the coral reefs were dying. So the regeneration is it fluoresces when it's all growing back. So that hence the bright coral costumes and things. So you'll see a lot of bright oranges and bright pinks and stuff. That's all the regeneration of the coral.
And what does it feel like to dance at Notting Hill Carnival?
It's the most liberating thing ever. It doesn't matter if you're big, small, if you feel a bit self-conscious, you're here to be proud of who you are, where you come from, your island. You come from here, Trinidad, Barbados, anywhere. You just have fun and just free up, so yeah.
How long have you been coming to Carnival?
Oh, God, right. I think I joined Mangrove when I was 17, played in Tabernacle. Mangrove's children's band was Tabernacle's children's band. So I did children's band's costumes, then went to practice. So I did both from a teenager. So my daughter now plays in the big band, my nephews, and my grandchildren play mass as well now. So, I'm not gonna, without giving my age away, 30 plus years, we'll say that. Yeah.
Well, amazing stuff, guys. Look absolutely fabulous. And the theme of Mangrove's costumes this year is Aqua. And earlier, before the parade, we caught up with the costume designer of Mangrove Mass Band.
So this year's costumes for Mangrove it's called Aqua, and it's all centred around the sea and everything that lies beneath the sea. So I was inspired by, I've watched a lot of David Attenborough, Blue Planet and Our Planet, but then also by just the prominence of water in Black history and water travel, especially in the wake of the Windrush as well, the Windrush scandal even. So that's the kind of inspiration today. We've kind of gone with 4 sections. So we've got Urchin, we've got Aqua, Pearl and Coral Triangle, and they all just incorporate different areas of the sea. My earliest memory is actually of not liking Carnival, but it was because I was jealous of everyone in costumes as a child. So we used to go to Kensal Road with my mum, my grandmother, park ourselves on Kensal Road and watch all the floats go past, but it used to make me really jealous of the people in costumes. So I used to not want to go just so I didn't have to make myself like jealous. That's my earliest memory. And then my favourite part of Carnival, when you wake up and you can hear like the bass in the music and you're like, oh my god, I'm so ready. Walking down like towards, like maybe for me it's walking towards Great Western Road to Judging Point and smelling all the oil drums going and like everything being cooked and just that carnival vibe. So seeing my creations on the road is obviously an amazing feeling, seeing everything come together. All your hard work, like everyone's hard work, just like together on the road is really nice. It's a really nice kind of family feeling. If it's your first time wearing a costume, I would recommend going for something that you know you're going to be comfortable in. So some people tend to just get more and more naked every year. So if you start off with something a little bit more covered up to begin with, if you feel comfortable. If you feel go in for the kill, you want to wear a thong, go for it first year. But make sure you've got foamed pieces, so like backpacks, you've got foam in there, you've got the comfort level. Head pieces, you've got foam on your forehead. Yeah, those would be my tips.
Well, there are so many different types of dance to be found here at Carnival, and one of them is Samba, and I'm lucky to be joined by the London School of Samba in all their fabulousness. Guys, tell us about what Samba is and what makes it special.
Samba is happiness. It is basically happiness. That's where it stems from. It's full of spirit and energy and a big smile on your face, basically.
And how long have you been with the London School of Samba?
I've been in the London School of Samba coming up to 8 years now, and it's been the blessing of my life. It's been so amazing.
And tell us, what makes Carnival so special? Is it your highlight of your year?
Yes.
Me. No, being with your friends, and yeah, it is a thing that you have to work so hard for, to be queen of your school, and it's such an honored role, and to share it with people who are your best friends, and we all do the same thing. We just share the passion for dance and samba. Just love it.
Have to talk about these costumes. Just how long do they take to make?
At least a couple of months at the very least, with a lot of preparation and importation from all over the world, just to make this happen.
And tell me just about how many sequins do you think are on this?
I think
jewels?
Maybe 1 million jewels. I don't know. I haven't even really looked in a mirror, to be honest. Couldn't find one big enough.
Right, guys, we can't let you go without showing us some of your Samba moves. So when you're ready, I'll let you guys take the lead. Let's go. Route of Notting Hill Carnival. It's Europe's biggest street festival, and it's been taking place since 1966. There are 36 static sound systems. It's 11 times bigger than Glastonbury Festival, and there's over 70 performing stages. This parade route is 3.5 miles long, and that's not to mention the 300 food stalls that you can find serving delicacies, including, you got it, jerk chicken. Now, this was originally a demonstration of racial unity coming together, and it's all taking place here in West London to show London's magnificent multicultural past, present and future. At Notting Hill Carnival, there are flavours from all over the Caribbean, and we're joined by Dominique from Caribbean Kitchen. So tell us, what are you making right here?
Well, this is the roti section, and the double section is freshly from Trinidad and Tobago. Basically, it's originated from Trinidad and Tobago, and we're bringing it fresh here on the Notting Hill Carnival. What we have chickpeas in this department. We've got curry goat in this department, with a mixture of veg, spinach, and chicken and prawns.
Now, this is your first year at Notting Hill Carnival. What has it been like?
It's been ecstatic. I love the crowd, I love the vibe, it's just amazing. And it makes me want to keep feeding people. Come, you know, enjoy it, yeah.
And what would you say your most popular dish is?
The most popular dish that people keep asking for is curry goat. That's the most. Curry goat roti, please, and doubles. Doubles. If you ain't tasted the doubles, you need to taste it now, I tell you, because you'll miss out. You're missing out.
What's so important about bringing authentic flavours to Notting Hill Carnival?
It shows our history, it shows where we come from, it shows our generation of where our parents, how our parents grew and how they taught us, teach their generation to come, you know? And that's what it's about, the soul of love, the love of food. It's the soul love of food. There you go.
All right, guys, it's the taste test now. Are you ready?
Enjoy.
Are you ready?
Melting.
So soft.
Oh, yeah.
How do you make it so soft?
That's a secret.
It's the staple food of Notting Hill Carnival. It's jerk chicken. Tell me, where from the Caribbean is this from?
This is all the way from St. Catherine, Portmore, Jamaica. And the spice that we bring, which you know the Trinidadians are been known for their spicy country, along with the Jamaican spice as well. So we kind of give it name Trini Jamaican. You know what I mean? So that's the new name for this spice, you know?
And tell me, how much preparation does it take to serve Notting Hill Carnival?
You know what? Because I've got a little experience, the Notting Hill Carnival, the amount of people that comes through and show love, especially for the jerk chicken, you have to mentally prepare to deal with like the amount of people that's gonna come. So I think it takes a little, like, don't just thinking you're just gonna come and throw chicken and pan. You're gonna have to put seasoning in it, leave it to soak, that's it, we get the good flavor. So you guys can come and talk to us about it.
And how many people do you think you'll get coming to your stall over the weekend?
Well, we was here yesterday. Apparently it was Kids Day, but kids are big as well, so we done well. And today, the experience that we get from yesterday, like all this chicken that you see here is going to go by 3 o'clock, and then we're gonna have to put this again by 5 o'clock, and then this amount again by 6 o'clock, and then that amount again by 7, that amount by 8, until English people and everyone from all the world enjoy everything and it's finished.
Well, you're doing so well because it is very hot back here.
Yeah, and when she says hot, she means the chicken spice looks hot. And the sun is hot as well. And she is hot and everyone is hot. You're hot, and all the staffs are hot. And thank you very much.
What was it that you told me that your mum used to say?
If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Jerk chicken is one of the key foods doing the rounds here at Notting Hill Carnival. But what about our vegetarian and vegan friends who also want to partake in flavours of the Caribbean? Well, look no further because Renee's Kitchen is here to help.
Hey!
So, Renee, you make all vegan food here at Notting Hill Carnival.
Vegan.
What do you use instead of chicken?
So my meat replacement is a soy vegan chicken and it's imported. And it's basically just made out of soya bean, but constructed into like a vegan meat replacement.
And have you seen a lot of people in the Caribbean community turning vegan recently?
Yes, so in the Caribbean community, veganism isn't actually a new concept because we've always had ITIL, which is what Rastafarians are used to, and they've been eating that way since the beginning of time. But the younger generation who aren't Rastafarians and such are now turning to veganism and they're just enjoying the flavours of the Caribbean in a different way.
And what kind of food do you serve here?
So on my menu here, because I do private events and catering as well, but for the street food stalls, I do an island curry, which is chickpea, sweet potato, pumpkin and more, served with a coconut basmati rice, coleslaw and plantain. And then I have my famous jerk wrap, which is the vegan jerk chicken pieces, marinated in a homemade jerk sauce in a roti wrap instead of a traditional tortilla. And then it has pomegranate seeds in, crispy onions, homemade jerk mayo, and that's just my best seller.
And what is it like catering for Europe's biggest street party?
It is damn hard.
Right, so Renee, run me through what we've got here and I'm going to try some.
Here we have the vegan jerk chicken pieces, which everybody loves. This is marinated in a homemade jerk sauce that I make myself.
Here we go.
And everyone says it's delicious. It comes in a wrap, a roti wrap, or with the coconut basmati rice.
Okay. Here we go, moment of truth. Okay, yeah, that is delicious. And a really meaty texture.
Yeah, it's got a really meaty texture. A lot of my customers aren't even vegans and they really enjoy the food. Next week I'm catering for 300 people and they're not even vegan, but they've just tried the food and really enjoyed it.
And it's a really, really good jerk sauce. That's got a real kick to it.
So that's my secret recipe there, and we just bottle it up and just put it on a bit and then it's good to go.
And you're not going to tell us the secret, are you?
Not today, sorry guys.
For the second year, Carnival is paying tribute to those who lost their lives in the Grenfell Tower fire. A 72-second silence has taken place, 1 second for each person that lost their lives that day 2 years ago. It's a chance for the community of Carnival to pay their respects and to show that these people will not be forgotten.
For the next 72 seconds, we're going to pay respect to those who Grenfell. I'd like to ask everyone around the judging zone that we pay our respect to Grenfell. That 72 seconds starts now. Okay, we want to say thank you to each and every one of the judging zone. Let's have a big round of applause on a nice chef for those from Grenfell.
I'm joined here by one of Notting Hill Carnival's judges who are judging all the incredible floats that we have going on in the parade. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for inviting me.
So tell me, what do you look for as a judge?
Right, there are 4 categories, and these categories have been determined with the mass bands. There are about 77 mass bands that will be reflected today, and the categories are, we look at the design, whether in fact it's innovative, and whether it reflects the theme that they've chosen, and then the presentation and portrayal. Are the costumes portraying the theme? And then we look also at the visual impact, the overall impact of the band and the band's presentation. Are they in their sections? Are they really enjoying themselves? The vibe and energy good? So they're clear areas where we mark them out of 30 or 10. And then, of course, there's 3 judges in each section. So as a band comes, 3 of us will judge, and the next band, another 3 will judge, and then comes back to us.
And who have been some of the past winners that have been really exciting?
There have been some really good winners in the past. One of our top bands is Mahogany Carnival Arts, based in Harlesden, and Elimu, which passed just now. They've been Burukit, which actually joined with Elimu this year. There are a number of bands that have been coming each year, and of course we have the bands from Brazil, the samba bands, as you notice, and we now have a separate category for the Brazilian bands, which never used to be separate. So it's good that we can judge them. There's a different set of judges to judge them.
And what makes Notting Hill Carnival so special?
Well, we have to look back at our history, the history of colonialism and why people came here, and the struggle to be accepted, to identify how we can work in harmony and live in harmony together. We know all the trials and tribulation and the riots, etc. But at the end of the day, like the mahogany theme this year is the melting pot. We're all supposed to be living together in harmony, building the nation, building the world. And so what is special about it is that in Notting Hill, which is a very confined area, you'll have over 2 days over 1 million people coming together. Although there have been some difficulties yesterday and every year, given the number of people who are here, you have more trouble at football matches, etc.
Thank you so much for joining me. We're looking forward to seeing your scoring sheet. Welcome back to the very best of Notting Hill Carnival 2019. We're in the midst of this crazy parade right now. It's almost 4 miles long, and let me tell you, it is only getting busier.
Yo, but wow, they're on a mission, you know. Undercover mission, this special out. Yeah, man, yeah, you star. Alright, so yeah. So what a boom shot this, what a hit and not a miss. If a man want this, he will catch up in me fish. Yeah, snake in a grass, who a is when him crisp. When a sexy girl lick me, I put kiss. Boom shot this, what a hit and not a miss. If a man want this, he will catch up in me fish. Yeah, snake in a grass, who a is when him crisp. When a sexy girl lick me, I put kiss. At the touch, so from somewhere me come and we know we no camouflage. Say dude call me Colonel Corporal Assange. Me dep on a mission with me verbal barrage. No matter if I
Well, Notting Hill Carnival couldn't happen without the help of all the amazing volunteers who put in their time, not only across the parade route, but all over West London. And one of those volunteers joins me now. Tell us, why did you decide to volunteer at Notting Hill Carnival?
Well, I actually found the volunteering position through looking for costume jobs. It popped up saying that this position would give me a close-up view of the costumes, and it's somewhere I've always wanted to come, so yeah, that hooked me in.
Now, this is your first year at Notting Hill Carnival, is that right?
Yeah, it's my first year here.
And you've chosen to volunteer. What are the volunteer duties?
So it's been making sure that people who are on the list get in, they get a wristband so they can come and go freely. Making sure everyone's okay, happy, enjoying Carnival. That's it, really.
What's been some of the most amazing costumes you've seen?
Some flower ones, so there were women dressed as flowers, and one that was inside a big pink flower with it swirling around her. That was amazing.
Do you think it shows the spirit of London here at Carnival?
Yeah, it does, yeah, the love and everyone's like happiness, enjoying the sun. It's great.
And are you going to be coming back year on year to volunteer now?
Yeah, I think so. I might let myself have a few where I'm just in the midst of it. But yeah, it's been really good.
without its performers, and I'm happy to say a very well-dressed performer is joining me now, looking absolutely amazing. So tell us, how long have you been coming to Carnival for?
So I've lived in Carnival since I went to university, which was probably about 20 years ago, all around Carnival. I would say when I lived on it, everyone came to my house, but after I moved slightly out of the area, then that's when I really started enjoying it, because I would come in and not everyone's at my house. So.
And what makes Carnival so special and so engaging to the community?
I think it's because it offers a combination of things. So one of my favorites is Mass, and then I have to mention Steel Pan. So Steel Pan music is like very historic from the Caribbean, and my children play and things like that. So, and then I think you've got the sound systems, the food, which we all like, drink, and yeah, it's got something for everybody, and yeah.
And we have to talk about this incredible costume. Tell us about it.
So I have actually already been through judging points, and my costume got a wee bit damaged as I'm jumping up. It's called jumping up. As you can see, they will do. This is a big band called RDR coming with lots of my friends play for, but I support my bands for my friends designed this outfit. His name is Rohan, and so I supported him. He's gone through, and then I'll wait for my friends, and they're coming through. This is RDR, a really big band. It's got about 20 different lines. Anyone can register and book them, and then eventually I'll wait for my Still Pan band to come through, and they will be playing Sweet Pan, and then I can dance to that as well in my costume, well, my masquerade outfit.
Do you look forward to Carnival all year?
Love it. It's like a holiday. So people in Trinidad, I go to Trinidad Carnival as well and things like that. Obviously, if you live there, you haven't got to pay the flights. So this is our holiday here, you know, and people come from abroad to see us. So yeah, everyone should come out and enjoy it.
And so many people are in so many amazing costumes. Do you think Carnival is accessible to everyone?
Yes. So many years ago, living on the route, I didn't realize you see them and you think they're performers. You just register with a band, you pay, there's different tiers of pricing, and you know, there's a back line, which is like maybe as cheap as £100 to, you know, midline, front line. This is their front line individual, and they go up to like 500-600, and you get what you want, and then you come out and you're free.
Amazing. Well, we're going to leave you here, but could you possibly do us a little dance? Well, those are your highlights from Notting Hill Carnival 2019. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next time with all music, food, dance and costumes that make up West London's biggest celebration.
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it.
Yo, is it? Are you kidding me?
To us, yeah. So we are coming in with a force, yeah. Blessings we are reap and we coursing on full. Oh, we not rise and boast. Yeah, we give thanks like we need it the most. We have to give thanks like we really supposed to be thankful. Blessings all for my life and my thank God for the journey, the earnings are just for the plus. Yeah, and gratitude is a must. Yeah, me see blessings fall by my right hand. But I toast for the friends we take off every load. One time did sit down in a class and we bored, then only said the road and me go on with the road.
It is amazing. The atmosphere is just incredible here. You're never going to find anything like it. It's all about West London.
Hello, bro, time say I had to shot ya. Saw your poster, spectacular photo. Keep it burning, yes, that's the motto. If me the butter pass through your shot, to can't ball in a life, man. Me have to thank God for the journey, the earnings are just.
Can you guys teach me some moves?
And gratitude is a must. Yeah, me see blessings fall by my right hand. But I toast to the friends we take off every load.
Carnival is one of the iconic festivals in the British calendar.
A whole year's worth of preparation and ideas.
Yeah, it's incredible. I love it, especially today. It's amazing.
And that's how I made to give him the go. Free, I'm delighted. January say my passion ignited. Got the music get me excited. I'm coming like a potion. Blessings all for my life and my thank God for the
In Notting Hill, which is a very confined area, you will have over 2 days over 1 million people coming together.
But I toast for the friends we take off every load. One time did sit down in a class and we bored, then only said the road and me go on with the road. Toast, yeah, yeah. Toast. Oh, we not rise and boast. Yeah, we give thanks. We have to give thanks like we really supposed to be thankful. Blessings all for my life and my thank God for the journey, the earnings are just for the plus. Yeah, and gratitude is a must. Yeah, me see blessings fall by my right hand. But I toast for the friends we take off